All right. Say we're gonna play Romans and Christians. If you're watching, we're playing Romans and Christians in like a minute.
We are.
And I will take you along for the shenanigans.
Maybe I don't.
Hopefully no one gets hurt, but yeah, stay tuned.
Maybe we'll all get hurt.
No, we're not gonna all get hurt.
Happy Valentine's Day.
Say it again.
Happy Valentine's Day.
Happy Valentine's Day. All right. Shenanigans. Stop it. I recorded that.
Shenanigans.
People are watching this. Hey, keep your hands off each other. What's wrong with you people? Hey, you're live. Say something live. Say something live.
Hi, Mom. Wait, am I on TV? Oh my gosh.
You're on Instagram Live right now.
Where's the hidden camera?
Dog water. Instagram Live. Oh my god. Ow.
You're a celebrity right now. Celebrity. Hi, Daniel. All right, I'm gonna set this up here. Okay. Hopefully that won't fall.
Where's Wes?
I don't know, someone better text Wes Park or get him here.
Is that Wes? It's not Wes. No.
All right, get over here, come here, come here.
I actually have no chair.
Why is this? Get this out of here, guys.
Why? Because you have a ball?
Hi, Sienna. All right, everybody, listen up. We're gonna play a game called Romans and Christians. Yes. In order to play, though, you have to hear the rules.
Look at Ryan.
What were you enlisted? Huh?
Kids, I can't get this started until you guys hear the rules. Alright, this is a hide, run, avoid capturing game for the good guys. Those are the Christians. The bad guys we're going to call Romans. Romans are going to run around the building looking for where the Christians are hiding. They're going to try to tag them. If a Roman, one of the bad guys, tags one of the Christians, the good guys, listen up, they're going to ask them one question. What's that question? Are you Jesus? Alright. If you're a Christian and you're tagged, you have to be honest about this. There is a Jesus character we have already assigned for this first game. One Jesus character per round. Listen up. One Jesus character per round will be able to go into the jail of Christians, which is right in this jail-like figure here. It looks like 9 square, it's really a jail. They can come in and jailbreak all the Christians. The Roman's job is to either find Jesus and tag them, or we're going to say capture 25 Christians. Okay? Either of those is a win for the Romans. Listen up. We're gonna have the small group leaders kind of divide up around the building. Just just kind of watch for stuff. When they say, hey, game's over, come back, you come back, okay? You kind of yell it around the building, get you guys back here and start another round. You want to make that quick so we can get to as many rounds as possible, all right? So win, lose, whatever, get back here when you hear game's over, let's start another round. But Christians, you run, you hide. You can go anywhere in the building you can get to without opening the door.
Oh, we can go
Okay?
upstairs.
No opening doors.
Hey, yo.
All right?
What if it slides?
This time I mean it. No opening doors.
Was that one spot?
All right.
Downstairs?
Couple more miscellaneous rules that have come up recently. One is you don't have to be escorted to jail. If a Roman tags you, you come to jail. Now it will benefit you to get to jail quickly because if there's a jailbreak and you're not actually in jail, well, too bad. You're still going to stay in jail till Jesus comes back. All right? Second thing is, listen to your small recruiters if they say, hey, get out of there, hey, knock it off, whatever. Listen to them. Just because these doors back here in early childhood are shut, I know there's windows open, that doesn't mean you jump in through the window like all commando style. Okay? Stay out of
Commando style. That's when you take off.
yes.
If it's half door and half of it's open and half
You don't go through. Don't go through.
Are you kidding me?
Everybody ready? Okay, wait. I need 4 people who are really good at that.
Hey, Paula. Do you think I have to wear shoes for this?
I hate you, Ryan.
Okay. These are the Romans. Go high. Go. You're doing a horrible job, like awful job. This is the worst hiding job I've ever seen. Oh, wait, hold on. I'm going to see if I can. Thank you, Paul. You're live, by the way, so I'm going to try to travel with you guys in your quest. Good luck. Okay, 1, 2, 3, go. Go. Yeah. Downstairs, upstairs. Okay, Chrissy, hey, would you mind just moving off to the side so no one, runs over you? I don't think that would happen, but, I don't want you to get hurt. All right.
We're spying on your kids.
Oh, that's okay. My kids dropped a slinky. There we go. Okay. Yeah, you're a Roman. I did. What don't you understand about, hey, these are the bad guys? Get in jail. Welcome to jail. You guys have to be in jail. Come on in. There's no food, but that's the least of your problems because there's no water either. So, okay. 1, 2, 3. Go. You're free. Go. Jailbreak. Run away. Just don't let bad guys tag you.
I didn't see him.
You weren't here in time. I'm sorry. All right, back to jail. Back to jail. Did you get tagged? All right, don't cut through jail. Don't cut through jail, cheater. All right, welcome back to jail.
Wait, you're already in jail?
Hey, you gotta be quick getting to jail, man. When Jesus comes, you better be around. Seriously.
Dang it.
Do you want to be Jesus next round? The jailbreaker person? Okay, that'd be perfect. Oh no! Okay, all right. All right, forgive it. I'll wait till later. We'll wait till later. Okay. All right. Okay, everybody, come on back. Everybody, come on back. Come on back. Come on back. Everybody, come on back. You've been Jesus before. I remember this. I make you the bad guy or Jesus quite a bit. All right, everybody, come on back. We can get another round in yet. Come on back, everybody. We can get another round in. Let's go. Yeah, get them back here. All right. Hustle up, everybody. Get back here so we can get another round in. I have picked Jesus already. I'm sorry.
All of them?
Just for the next round. Just for the next round. I've already picked Jesus for the next round, so don't ask. All right. Welcome back, everybody. What's that?
Am I at this round?
No, I'll wait till next round.
Do another round?
Yeah.
Can I do?
Okay, we're gonna start another round. We need new bad guys. We need new bad guys. New bad guys.
Me, Ryan, please.
Some of you guys are too fast. I need to lower.
Hey.
You too. Next round, I'll get you guys. Okay, you two. You two. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hey, you hurt yourself. I'm gonna be mad. No. Okay. Okay, everybody. Romans right here. Romans, raise your hand. Romans, raise your hand. These are the bad guys. Go hide. Go. Yeah. Go there. Go. Yeah. As long as you're not opening any doors. That's the thing. No doors. If you open any doors,
I'm injured, so.
you're in. Why didn't you tell me this before? There's a lot of pressure because that first round was fast. So, okay, 1, 2, 3, go! Go get them, bad people. All right. Leah's just always in jail, I guess. I mean, it's cool. You can hang out with jail people. Run, Noah. Go to jail, Noah. Sorry, man.
I didn't think she was that far behind.
All right, welcome to jail.
Hi.
You've been here before, I think.
No.
No? Okay. All right.
This is my first time.
Okay.
I think
Well,
I'm fine.
to acquaint you with jail, there's a super invisible laser barrier right here that... Welcome to jail, everybody.
Jesus.
Hey, welcome to jail.
Jesus.
I can't tell you that information. There might be bad people
What you
listening,
mean to tell me
so...
is I can't do this?
There might be. No, you just slice yourself in half by the laser barrier that we got here. So, all right, welcome to jail, everybody. Good to see you. Welcome. Yes.
Not my good snack.
No. think so. I ate some earlier. I'm just not hungry. Okay, if you guys, if you're in jail, go in jail. If not, clear out, because this is like a, I don't know, what do you call it, freeway thing right here. Don't cut through the jails, Peyton. Stop cutting through jail. Go around it. It's super invisible barrier that will hurt you. Keeping people in jail. Everybody but Jesus. Nick, I can't tell if he's in jail or not. That's usual though. Okay. There's a lot of people coming this way. All right, let's count the jail people. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Okay. Peyton, don't cut through jail. I'm gonna make you go in jail.
Can I be Jesus next one, Ryan?
No, I think I already picked someone.
Okay.
All right, you're getting close, Romans. You're getting close. 1, 2, 3,
Hey, Jesus!
4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. We're gonna call it like 8 more people maybe until you lose. Go, 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 go!
Money. Seems like
It is an earthquake. All right.
Twice. I got tagged on the jailbreak.
On the jailbreak. That was good live video right there. That was good stuff. You can be a bad guy next round, okay? All right. 3 more minutes. 3 more minutes, Romans, until the Christians win. You need to get 25 or Jesus. 3 more minutes. Are you guys in jail or not in jail? It's hard to tell, you know? I don't know.
This is I need a break from running around all the place.
Okay. All right, just hiding out in the open.
Not yes.
No, thanks, man. I had some of those earlier. If you're in jail, stay in jail.
Are you a Roman?
Are you down for next round?
I really don't.
Just don't get tagged.
I do.
Don't get tagged and rescue these people.
Help you.
Leah will tell you all about it. All right, everybody come back. You were so close. Like 2 more minutes, you would have won it. Everybody come on back.
There's a misunderstanding.
One more round.
You promised, Ryan. Yeah, you promised, Ryan.
I did promise. You're right.
All right. You already picked Cruz, you've already been around. Get
All
out
right,
here.
come on back, everybody.
Have you picked Jesus wrong?
I have. Do you want to be a Roman?
No.
You sure?
Yeah.
All right. Cruz, I would have made it you, but I
want to be a Roman.
I was working off last round, so.
Can I be a
Okay,
Roman?
hold that thought. All right. Hey, can you guys let people through, please? Thank you.
So who are
Jaden,
Are these 2 Romans too?
move.
You guys Romans?
All right. Jaden.
Were you the Roman there? You literally looked right at me and then you left.
Okay, 1 more round.
Me?
No pressure, but the Christians have yet to win.
Me?
So sad. Okay, I need some Romans. Roman.
Me? Please?
Let him be a Roman. Let him be a Roman.
Please?
Let him and her.
Roman.
Yes.
If we get a next round, I'll get you guys. If we get next round.
But you just said,
What did I just say?
you just said it was the last round.
If it's a quick round, we'll get another one in. I'm not lying to you.
I don't.
Romans, come here. Hey, get over here. Raise your hand if you're a Roman. Okay, I've already picked Jesus. Go. Stay here. Yeah, I got 5 Romans this time.
That way, and then I'll go through the pattern.
I'll go around.
Okay.
I'll flush them that way. One runs through.
Okay.
Next time we're going to here. You need someone to push.
All right, if you're a Christian, go. If you're a Christian, go.
Post at the stairs.
If you're a Christian, go hide.
Ready? Go to someone's stairs.
Wait, not yet. Wait. All right, 1, 2, 3, go. Go. Don't cut through jail. How many times I gotta tell you? Don't cut through jail. There's an... Like a dozen times at least tonight. Don't cut through jail. Don't cut through jail. Don't cut through jail. Yes, you got to go to the kitchen to get it.
So which one of you is
Okay.
on the island and which one
Go, jailbreak, go. This is my jailbreak dance. Go, jailbreak, go, jailbreak, go. It's my jailbreak dance. Peyton.
Oh, that hurt a lot.
Are you okay, Colton? What did you hit? Hey, Peyton Sizemore, come here. Peyton Sizemore, come here. All right, I'm putting you in Roman timeout because you keep cutting through jail. 30 seconds, I'll tell you when you can go back in. No. Hey, right here. Stay right here. I will tell you when you can be back in the game. What?
Hand up your pants.
My pants? Okay. Go, Joey!
Gotcha.
All right, Peyton, you can go. Thank you for waiting. Peyton, don't cut through jail!
Those people's ears have to be bleeding. Listening to you just screaming into them. Is anyone on there?
Yes.
Oh.
Yeah.
How many
couple
people
people.
are on?
Just a couple. I will say it's disappointing that you're passing on your laziest player ever strategy to people. I was hoping
It's so
more.
good though. It's so good. It is. Nobody
So
knows.
bad.
The Christians need to win.
I guess.
So you're welcome.
You're just passing on your horribleness. All right, go, jailbreak, go. Jesus has been here. All right.
Just stand in the middle of the freeway.
I'm going to say this. I'm going to call you out in about 2 minutes. I'm calling you out.
Okay.
So I'm going to make you move. There's no technical rule against that. Okay, there's no shutting the door. That is against the rules. I will seriously reprimand people closing doors. That is
Those doors were open.
so against the...
But I kind of love it.
Right. All right, welcome to jail. Yeah, say hi.
What's up, guys? Hi, Mom. My mom.
All right, Peyton, stop cutting through jail. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, jailbreak, go, jailbreak, go, jailbreak,
Yeah, well, that one. Not them, because I tagged them. Wait.
There's someone who's how do I say? Hey, how you doing?
I might have hit
With a
right
car
there.
seat?
When I was running through earlier, I think I smacked somebody with a car seat. Sorry.
No one complained, so that's good.
All right.
Okay.
Hey, she walked to the complete other side of the jail. So you should be grateful.
That's so difficult.
Paying attention. She was
so
in there for like 10
hard to
seconds.
do.
She's just hanging around there.
Oh, wow. Okay. All right, 30 more seconds, Romans. 30 more seconds.
Not realizing
You
you were
okay?
videoing.
Oh, I can catch you on video. Say hi, Casey. Hi, Joy. Oh, hey, Joy. She's awake. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Time up. You barely made it, Noah. Okay.
Who's Jesus?
I don't know. I'm going to take that secret with me for a while. You did really good, man. That was amazing.
No, I tagged multiple people and they just kept walking out.
You did good. You did good. Okay. High schoolers, go downstairs. Middle schoolers in the auditorium. See you guys later.
You nailed it.
High schoolers downstairs. Middle schoolers in the auditorium, please. I don't know if I'm going to share that information. There was a Jesus. Middle schoolers, come on in the auditorium. High schoolers downstairs. Jesus. One of the high school girls. Come on in, middle schoolers.
Poor socks. They feel like they're coming off. Like no baby socks stay on in my room.
Come on over, Aiden.
Can you help?
I'm good right now, I think. Thank you, though. Oh, yeah, sorry. Grab a paper over here, you guys. Has all your Bible verses we're going to look at today. Paper on the pedestal there.
Somebody close one of the open doors. What's in there? Where's the phone?
And then I heard Alphonse's voice, and I was like, hey, how do they do baptism? How do they do the full thing? Where are we sitting? Do they put it up on the screen?
All right, guys, come on. Make sure you guys have a paper from the back pedestal there. That's all the Bible verses we're going over today. You do need to sit at least one space apart from someone next to you if you want us to allow you to take down your mask. Otherwise, you're just going to have to all keep your mask for the malfeasance of a group. They're in the back. So yeah, papers, back pedestal there that has all the Bible verses that we're going to go forward to. Actually, I should say mix of the two. All right, look around. Are we missing anybody still hiding in the building? This has happened before that someone just got a great hiding spot and they're just like, no, it's 2 hours later. I have to go home. Okay, Aaron Hollywood's over. Good. Yeah, let's go find him. He would be one that just, hides for
He probably knows the names. He just don't.
So, thank you. So maybe one of Aaron Holland's a little smaller, we would look for him. Maybe check the video game room.
He's not.
Possibly. I didn't see Aaron Holland.
Oh, I should have checked behind the thing.
Could be a couple things. Could be really good hiding spot, could be bathroom break, could be like, hey, girls in the front row. So you have to have a space apart, so I can tell everyone they can take down their mask for this time. If you guys sit like this, I can't tell anybody to take down their mask. So that's the deal. So this for the okay. Are people closer? Okay. I'm looking out there. What do you got? It's on. All right. You guys, hey, laser pointer away, please. On my regular. And you guys can take down your masks as long as you guys stay at least one space apart from people. If we have other activities that put you closer together, put your mask up, please appreciate that, you guys. Who's sweating right now? Who's what? Sweating. All right, here we go. There is not only this handout kind of in the back pedestal that hopefully you guys have right now that covers your Bible verses for today. Now, really, I want to say this, even though very few people do this, bring your Bible. That's the best way to get into God's Word. You're looking things up yourself because that gives you the practice of knowing where everything is in your Bible, even if it's like not obvious to you right away where all the Bibles are. If you look at the table of contents, you find another way to look those things up. That's the best way. But just, COVID, we're going to print off copies of these things too, so we don't have to like go to a common Bible, grab things off the shelf, or anything like that. So we're going to have handouts for you guys. You just take these home, obviously, the Bible verses we're going to maybe reference during teaching time today. We have another handout, okay, a lot of handouts today. One more handout as you guys leave. What this is it's a full page sort of like devotion guide that you can just pick up and give to whoever's picking you up, okay, your parent, someone from your home that can go through kind of the lesson midweek. Because the stuff that you guys are going to be learning about tonight and for the next 3 weeks, if you have maybe an older brother or sister in high school, or younger brothers and sisters who go here on Sunday mornings, we're all covering, birth through high school, the same stories in the Bible. Now, that may sound like, we're talking about the same thing that the babies are talking about. Well, in a way we are, but we're age appropriate, bringing the lesson to you. There's a lot to go through in this material, and we want to make sure that we're making it something that hits home for you guys. Just like we are making it hit home for the younger kids and students here. So you're going to be talking about things that are definitely higher, intellectually higher, just sort of graphically for you guys compared to the younger students. I don't want you to feel like we're insulting your intelligence or anything. But I think it goes well with a good family Bible study that you guys can do midweek sometimes. And that's what this handout that you guys get on the way out will sort of help your parents to kind of run through with you. That's what we're really hoping for through this series here. Next week, so next Sunday, we're going to be launching some of our summer activities. One of those, Camp with an Impact. Now, 7th graders, you actually get to go to Camp with an Impact this summer. Can you believe that? You guys did not go to camp last summer. You get a redo here. So you get to go to Camp with an Impact this. Yeah, I knew that was coming. You guys get to go to Camp with an Impact this upcoming summer. So we're going to get you more details next week as we get registration open. But hey, good news for you 7th graders and your friends. Invite them out. Let's pack the place at Camp with an Impact this summer.
Wait, Ryan. Question. Can 7th graders invite us?
No.
That counts. You said that. That counts.
All
Please
right.
invite us. No.
I'm going to go ahead and turn it over to Nick. Most of you guys, I hope know Nick Hector, who's our Student Ministries intern. He's been working with us pretty much this entire school year, and he's actually going to be teaching the series for you guys. I really appreciate him doing that. So please give him your attention. Make sure that you take this material and learn how to apply it to your lives. We're really fortunate to have him leading us through it. So have your handouts ready for you as you go through the Word today, and then just think about how to put that into practice for you guys before we break down into small groups a little bit later. I'll turn it over to Nick. Thanks, Nick.
How are you doing tonight, guys? Good, man. Okay. How was Roman Christians? We like it. Who is Jesus in here? Anybody hear Jesus? How do you do as Jesus?
I failed.
He failed? I thought that game was pretty short when I saw you as Jesus.
I got trapped. I got cornered.
Oh, that's unfortunate. All right, well, like you can see on the screen, we're starting a 3-week series over David, the life of David. Who here has heard of David? Maybe most of us? Most of us, you haven't heard of David? Not a big deal, David of the Bible. Can anybody tell me some things about David, like a little bit what he was? Yeah, what do we got?
He defeated Goliath.
Okay, defeated Goliath. Yep. There we go. All right, looking at your Bible pastors there. Cheating a little bit.
Smart, Thea, smart.
But yeah, I got some facts I'll tell you guys about David before we get into it. But David was the youngest of 8 brothers. I don't know if you guys have big families. That's a lot of siblings. I have one brother, so a little bit bigger than my family. He was a shepherd, which meant that he took care of sheep, took care of flock. He was a musician too. Any musicians in the room?
Me.
You? Okay. Respect. I played trombone for 7 years, so respect the musicians. Okay. He's the second most frequently mentioned human in the Bible. Anybody guess who's awkward silence out there. I'll say there's long things. What's that?
What's the question?
So David was a man after God's own heart. What do you guys think that means? Yeah.
He does everything for God.
Does everything for God? Yep, the back.
You wanted to be like God.
Wanted to be like God. Okay. Good. So in Hebrew, the term that's translated as heart sounds like the word labah. That's how you pronounce it. So say it with me. Labah. 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 There you go. Sounds like labah. It can literally mean your heart, right? Thinking on our chest. But it also means courage, respect, and understanding. You know, it's stuff that people might use to associate like with that gut feeling. You guys ever heard like, oh, I had a gut feeling about that? You know? It's stuff that we use to associate with that. So it can also mean courage, respect, and understanding. And when we look at David's life, we can see courage, right? We can see respect, and we can see the understanding of others that honors God. But it's important for us, when we remember this story, read the story of David, that he wasn't perfect, you know? While he was a great man, while he did great things, and while he was a man after God's own heart, he still sinned and fell short just like each and every one of us. And you know, we don't show courage and respect and understanding in our whole lives in order to earn favor with God, because we know that the grace that God has given us can't be earned. It can't be obtained by anything or any good work that we can do, right? But we can still look at how people can live a life of faith in God that involves courage, respect, and understanding. And so we're going to start off today with the story of David and Goliath. I think you mentioned that, David and Goliath.
No.
Yeah. Somebody mentioned David and Goliath, but who here has heard of that story or knows about that story, right? It's pretty, I mean, most people know that story if you've ever been to church. But it's a pretty memorable story, and that's what we're going to be going over today. So I have a little video for us to watch that kind of goes over the story of David and Goliath, gives us some background, and kind of goes through it before we get into it. So, they play the video.
God's story, David and Goliath. So part of God's story is about the time David fought Goliath. And it begins like this. David was the youngest of 8 brothers. His job was being a shepherd, which meant he spent all day in the field watching sheep eat and roll around the grass. Meanwhile, some of his brothers were off with the Israeli army, preparing for war against the Philistines. The Philistines were one of the toughest armies the people of Israel had to fight. So one day, David was taking food to his brothers because his dad asked him to. But when he got there, his brothers accused him of coming so he could watch the fight instead of the sheep. Since David knew in his heart he was just obeying his dad, he didn't mind being misunderstood. Anyway, while David was there, he saw a huge Philistine man, more than 9 feet tall, step onto the field between the 2 armies. He was wearing a thick helmet and armor and carrying huge weapons. His name was Goliath, and he was definitely used to being the winner. David found out that Goliath had been stepping onto the field like this every morning for the past 40 days and saying, "Give me a man and let us fight each other." But nobody from Israel was brave enough to fight him, even the king. Well, David didn't like that this giant was intimidating the Israelites. After all, they were God's special family. And because God was with the Israelites, they could have courage in any situation. So David, who wasn't even a soldier, told the king, "I'll fight against him." Now, the king thought David was too small, but he really wanted someone to fight Goliath, so he gave in. And David knew he wasn't strong enough to beat Goliath by himself, but he believed God would be with him. So he said, "The Lord will rescue me from the hand of this Philistine." The king hoped David was right. He even had his own weapons and armor put on David, but they didn't fit him. David decided to go into battle in his regular clothes. That's how sure he was that God would help him. Anyway, David went to a nearby stream and chose 5 smooth stones to use with his slingshot. Then he walked onto the battlefield to meet the massive Goliath. When Goliath saw how wimpy David looked, he was furious. He thought he'd get to fight the Israelites' strongest warrior. He said to David, "Am I a dog that you come at me with sticks? I'll give your flesh to the birds and wild animals." David might have looked like a wimp, but he was actually really brave. In fact, he was so brave that when he was taking care of sheep, he fought off bears and lions. Because God helped him protect his sheep, David knew God would help him protect this special family. David said, "You come at me with a sword, but I come at you with the name of the Lord Almighty." And he was explaining to Goliath that God was more powerful than anything. He also added that he would feed Goliath's flesh to the birds, which made the giant even more mad. Then David took a stone, put it in a slingshot, and slung it at Goliath. Goliath didn't even get a chance to swing a sword because the stone hit him right in the forehead and sunk in deep. He face-planted straight into the ground. Nobody could believe it. Then David ran over, took hold of the giant's sword, and drew it from the sheath. He took the sword and cut off Goliath's head. David carried the head all the way back to Jerusalem. And when the Philistine army realized Goliath was dead, they started running away like a bunch of scaredy cats. The Israelites chased the Philistines, shouting loudly. They had won. God used David, who was just an average kid, to rescue his people. And that's the story of David and Goliath.
Did you like that video? I saw that. But so that's kind of an overview of the story of David and Goliath. We're going to get into it a little bit more. So in biblical times, battles were fought over many things. You know, usually it was over a certain area of land and space, but so people would dispute that land and who owned what land, who got what, and a lot of times that resulted, in fights and big wars, kind of like we saw was getting ready to happen there. And one dispute was between God's people, just Israel, and then the Philistines, right? And that was the exact situation. And the Israelite king, Saul, he expanded the Israelite territory by going and destroying the Amalekites in their region. I don't expect you guys to remember all these names either, because I can barely do that sometimes. But he went and destroyed the Amalekites, and this made the Philistines, who Goliath was part of, determined to go and take over that land. So that's when the Philistines went and they camped on one side of the valley ready to fight for it. And meanwhile, King Saul, have we all heard King Saul here before? Some of us? Okay. King Saul displeased God by keeping some of the riches of the Amalekites for himself against God's instructions. So Saul went against what God was telling him to do. And so Saul, the king of the Israelites, disobeyed God. And God told his priest, Samuel, to anoint a new king to take the kingdom over from Saul. And that man that God chose was David, who was the youngest of the sons of Jesse, like we talked about. But David did not become the king right away. He was promised the throne and enlisted in the king's service as a musician. He was enlisted under Saul to be his musician. He was close to the king at all times, and he knew of the Philistine challenge. He was not considered of fighting age at the time of this story. So instead he became a shepherd. And then, like we know, like we saw there, he eventually took up and stood up to be able to fight Goliath. So now we're going to actually read the story. We're going to start at 1 Samuel 17, 1 through 11. Does anybody want to come up and read that for us? If not, I can't think. Got anybody? Yeah? We got some other passages to read, so if you guys want to read, we can do that. But just follow along in your notes, and let's take over.
Now the Philistines gathered their forces for war and assembled the Succoth and Judah. They pitched camp in Ephes. Between Gokah and Azekah. Saul and the Israelites assembled and camped in the valley of Elah and drew up their battle line to meet the Philistines. The Philistines accompanied one hill, and the Israelites another, and the valley between them. A champion named Goliath, who was from Gath, came out of the Philistine camp. His height was 6 cubits and a span. He had a bronze helmet on his head and wore a coat of scale armor on bronze, weighed 5,000 shekels. On his legs he wore bronze greaves, and a bronze javelin was slung on his back. His spear was strapped was like a weaver's rod, and its iron point weighed 600 shekels. His shield bearer went ahead of him. Goliath stood and shouted to the ranks of Israel, "Why do you come out and line up for the battle? And I not a Philistine, and you are not the servants of Saul? Choose a man and have him come down to me. If he is able to fight and kill me, we will become your subjects. But if I overcome him and kill him, you will become our subjects and serve us." Then the Philistine said, "This day I defy the armies of Israel. Give me a man and let us fight each other." On hearing the Philistine words, Saul and all the Israelites were dismayed and terrified.
Cool. Give it up. Good job. So I know we just watched a video of Goliath song, but what are some images and some pictures that like come into your head when you guys think of Goliath? Like, what do you guys imagine? Yeah. You think? Okay. The rock on his forehead. You can hear it. What are some of the images we think of when we think of Goliath? Yeah. A giant? Yeah. He said it's like 6 cubits in a span, and so in our terms that'd be like 8 or 9 feet tall. That's a pretty tall dude, right? Anything else? Yeah. So what he read that Goliath said that he was going to defy the armies of Israel. So why was defying the armies of Israel a big deal? Like, what was he saying when he said he was going to defy the armies of Israel, essentially? Yeah.
Like, we are the best army.
Yeah. Yeah. So he's basically saying, he's like, so Israel and their army is basically associated with God, right? So he said that he's going to defy the armies of Israel. He said he's going to defy God. He's like, I hate your God. I'm bigger than your God. You know, Goliath had this idea that he was all big and bad. So he's like, I'm bigger than your God. I'm not just standing up to you and your army, but I'm standing up to what you represent, which is God, right? Goliath was contending for God's supremacy. Joshua 1:5-7 says, it's on your paper too, "No man shall be able to stand before you all the days of your life. Just as I was with Moses, so I will be with you. I will not leave you or forsake you. Be strong and courageous, for you shall cause this people to inherit the land that I swore to their fathers to give them. Only be strong and very courageous, being careful to do according to all the law that Moses my servant commanded you. Do not turn from it to the right hand or to the left, that you may have good success wherever you go." So God's plan for the armies of Israel was so to be strong and courageous, right? God promised that if they were strong and courageous, they would inherit the land they were fighting for, so long as they trusted in God, in Him, for their strength and their power. So that was God's plan for them, to be strong and courageous. And Goliath was standing in the way of that. So that meant Goliath was standing in the way of God. He was standing in the way of God's plans. Exodus 14:13-18 says, "And Moses says to the people, 'Fear not, stand firm, and see the salvation of the Lord, which He will work for you today. The Egyptians, whom you see today, you shall never see again. The Lord will fight for you, and you have only to be silent.' The Lord said to Moses, 'Why do you cry to me? Tell the people of Israel to go forward. Lift up your staff and stretch out your hand over the sea and divide it, that the people of Israel may go through the sea on dry ground. And I will harden the hearts of the Egyptians, so that they shall go in after them. And I will get the glory over Pharaoh and all his hosts, his chariots and his horsemen. And the Egyptians shall know that I am the Lord, when I have gotten glory over Pharaoh, his chariots and his horsemen.'" And so from their history, we can see that in the Israelites' battles, he would consistently lead them into battles which seemed so crazy and unbelievable. You know, he was leading David into this battle against Goliath, which just did not make sense at all, right? Just to prove how powerful God was and that He would provide for His people like He did for Israel. And, you know, in our own lives, God does the same for us. Like, let's stop and think about this a little bit. You know, maybe God wants to lead us to places of resistance and let Him do the fighting in our lives rather than us do the fighting. I mean, does that sound kind of crazy to you guys? Something like we can get over our own fears, so he can lead us into battles. So God has a plan for us. I mean, I don't know about you, but I would much rather leave my own personal battles to. I know how weak I am sometimes, how weak I can be, but I know how strong God is. So I'd much rather Him have my battles, right? So what types of characteristics does that require of us to let God lead us into these battles? Yep. Patience. Okay. Yep. Trust. Oh yeah. Courage, for sure. Faith. Mm-hmm. Yeah. How about bravery? Bravery, right? We gotta be brave to do that. And David was brave, so we know that David is a man after God's own heart. We know that a heart after God is brave. A heart after God is brave. And so we're going to continue, we're going to look at the rest of the story very carefully, because we're going to see it all, and it's important for us to see it all. We're going to know what the people did and what God did. So going on, 1 Samuel 17, 32-44, follow along. And David said to Saul, "Let no man's heart fail because of it. Your servant will go and fight this Philistine to fight with him. For you are but a youth, and he has been a man of war from his youth." But David said to Saul, "Your servant used to keep sheep for his father. When there came a lion or a bear, it took a lamb from the flock. I went after him and struck him and delivered it out of his mouth. And if he arose against me, I caught him by his beard and struck him and killed him." It was like in that video we watched, right? Like David was just smacking the bears and the lions left and right. They're going to attack his flock, right? "Your servant has struck down both lions and bears, and this uncircumcised Philistine shall be like one of them. For he's defied the armies of the living God," which means he defied God. And David said, "The Lord who delivered me from the paw of the lion and from the paw of the bear will deliver me from the hand of this Philistine." And Saul said to David, "Go, and the Lord be with you." Then Saul clothed David with his armor. He put a helmet of bronze on his head and clothed him with a coat of mail. And David strapped his sword over his armor. And he tried in vain to go, for he had not tested them. Then David said to Saul, "I cannot go with these, for I have not tested them." So David put them off, and he took his staff in his hand, and chose 5 smooth stones from the brook, or the stream or the river, and put them in his shepherd's pouch. His sling was in his hand, and he approached the Philistine. The Philistine moved forward and came near to David, with his shield bearer in front of him. And when the Philistine looked and saw David, he disdained, for he was but a youth, ruddy and handsome in his appearance. And the Philistine said to David, "Am I a dog that you come to me with sticks?" And the Philistine cursed David by his gods. The Philistine said to David, "Come to me, and I will give your flesh to the birds of the air and to the beasts of the field." And so at this point, you kind of have to wonder what's going through the minds of everyone seeing this there. They know who Big Bad Goliath is, the strongest, the biggest guy, and they're like, okay, they're sending the Israelites to come fight me, right? Like, who's this going to be? Probably a big bad dude as well. And then they get David coming out here. No armor, no weapons, just some stones and a little sling. And they're just like, come on, that sounds pretty ridiculous, right? I mean, yeah. to getting a spear, to getting a big sword, to just facing Goliath, just in his underwear like he did. He had all these opportunities, but he settled on having 5 stones. Like, why? Why do you guys think he did that? Because he had faith, right? Because he knew that God was going before him. Because he knew that a very powerful God was going to be able to handle this. But he wanted to be prepared in his own way to fight the Lord. He wasn't sure how to do it, so he relied on what he was familiar with. Right? With rocks to fight off different animals from the sheep. He knew, ultimately, that his strength was in God. He knew that his power came from God, not the power of this world. And that's bravery, right? That's pretty brave to be able to do that. But remember that a heart after God is brave. So I want you guys to take just like 1 or 2 minutes real quick, discuss with people around you. What is the most powerful weapon you guys can think of? Just take like 2 minutes real quick. We're going to join back together. But what is the most powerful weapon you can think of? Go. Lightsaber. There you go. Okay, coming back. What are some of the weapons you guys talked about? I heard lightsaber was as soon as I said it. So what do we got? Words? Okay. A bazooka. That might do it too. Yeah, back.
Nuclear bomb.
Nuclear bomb. That'll for sure take it. Yeah. Yeah. What do we got?
The great pistol in Fortnite.
Okay. There we go. Yep. Okay, there you go. So we got all these different things, right? So, like, think in your head, like, what would it look like to approach problems, approach your Goliath situation, like we talked about, with that weapon? For most of you, it would probably be pretty destructive, it sounds like. Okay? So let's think about it more in the realm of faith. What would it look like to approach your Goliath? What would it look like to approach those situations in your life that seem really big, that seem like they're undefeatable, if that's a word? What would it look like to approach those with like a 5-stone faith like David had? Faith that was strong enough to take down one of the largest soldiers ever with ease. David didn't need the best armor. He didn't need the best weapons or anything. He didn't even need the stones that he brought into that battle, because he put his faith in the fact that God went before him and that his strength was in God. David joined in God's work and did so with the weapons that he was accustomed to as a shepherd. Being prepared, David came prepared to that battle, but he didn't let that preparation in his own life get in the way of the faith that God would ultimately win the battle, and that was ultimately the Lord's victory. He was prepared, but he still let God lead and take charge. And that's bravery. Bravery is coming into a situation, even though it seems difficult, even though it seems scary, knowing that we have a God who loves us, a God who cares for us, a God who is strong when we are weak, a God that goes before us. I didn't put this in your passage, but 2 Corinthians 9 to 10, so just listen with me real quick. 2 Corinthians 12, 9 to 10. But he said to me, "My grace is sufficient for you, for my power is made perfect in weakness. Therefore I will boast all the more gladly of my weaknesses, so that the power of Christ may rest upon me. For the sake of Christ, then, I am content with weaknesses, insults, hardships, persecutions, and calamities. For when I am weak, then I am strong." So Paul, in most of his life and most of his time preaching the gospel, he was in prison for a lot of it, right? Paul was, by all standards of the entire world, Paul was weak. Paul had nothing. Paul was being malnourished. He was starving. He wasn't getting any proper treatment at all. But Paul was, by our standards, weak. But he's saying here in 2 Corinthians, he said, when I am weak, in situations where I'm at my lowest, in situations where the world would say I'm weak, I am strong. Because of any type of story in the Bible, that the main character in this story isn't David, it's not Goliath, it's not the Israelites, it's not the Philistines. It's God, right? It's God. And we'll learn that his heart was brave enough to make God the main character in this story. His heart was brave enough to make God the main character. And that's what we're supposed to get from the story, that God is the main character in our lives. God is the main character in our weaknesses and in anything that can happen to us. So what is a David and Goliath story? You guys ever heard like David and Goliath stories? Like people talk about them? Like what are some examples of like a real life David and Goliath story?
Faith.
Anybody got anything? Faith? You guys ever hear people talking about how like sports teams or like they were in sports and it's like, oh man, like we were the underdogs, we got that dub, ultimately like we were David, they were Goliath, stuff like that. Well, a lot of stories can sound good and stuff like that. We gotta remember that sometimes stories like that, when people put that situation, it's not the most honoring story to God. Why? It's because, like I said, the stories should be about us. David versus Goliath is not about David. It wasn't about how cool or awesome David was in this situation for taking down big bad Goliath. It was a story about God. It was a story about God's power. And the same is in our own lives. When we face our Goliaths, when we face the Goliaths in our world, we need to be just like David. These stories aren't about us. These stories aren't about how we overcame something, because we know that we can't do that. It's about the fact that God is a powerful God who overcomes our own Goliath. So a heart after God is brave. Heart after God is brave. And as we're closing, we'll do a little activity. So somebody mentioned we have a bunch of these balls up here, right? We do not get to throw them at anybody. Please no. So I want you guys, we're gonna imagine these as stones, all right? We're gonna use our own imagination a little bit. No, we are not throwing these stones. You are not David in this situation. No hurling at people's heads. So Ryan is gonna hand you guys 5, or I'm gonna come up too. Ryan's going to give you guys 5 balls. Those are your 5 stones. I want you guys to think of 4 ways you can honor God by being braver in your own life. Right? And there's a little garbage can in the back. So you guys think of that. Walk, don't run, don't throw the balls at people. I want you guys to toss every time you think of a story how you can be braver in your own life, toss some of the stones in there. But keep one to remind you to be brave as you join in God's word. So a heart after, if you guys take anything, remember, a heart after God is brave. All right, so just take some time, take the balls. Do you have one?
Yeah, what you guys can do is maybe think about it, and then on your way to small groups, put 4.
Okay, yeah, so, like you said, think about it, and then on your way to small groups, grab one, put 4 in there, but keep one. Don't put it in your pocket so it gets in your laundry or anything, but keep one, and think of how you can honor God by being brave in your own life. Okay? So I'm gonna pray us out real quick, and you guys can think about that. And on your way, there's the small group leaders passing them out. So I'm going to pray real quick. If you get a little tap on the shoulder, you're getting handed your stones. But I'll pray us out real quick, okay, guys? All right. Heavenly Father, Lord, thank you for today. Thank you just for your word, God. Thank you for stories like David and Goliath that can be, even though they're thousands of years old, they can apply to our own lives. God, I pray that everybody in this room can learn how to be brave properly, God. I pray that we can learn that a heart after you, a heart after God is brave, Lord. Help us to learn how to be brave and recognize that we don't need to be strong. We don't need to be big and mighty like Goliath was. We need to have a faith like David that understands that you are strong and we're not, Lord. So thank you for each and every single person in this room. I just pray for the rest of the night in our small group time, Lord. Can I pray? Amen.
I'll get it. Or you can.